Of the countless adobes built in California, only to return eventually to the earth from which they were fashioned, the De La Ossa Adobe, repeatedly reborn, has lived a charmed life. Ironically, an event of tragic proportions helped breathe new life into this adobe.
We have a name for this earthquake. They have dubbed it the Northridge Earthquake.
At 4:30 a.m. on January 17, 1994, residents of the San Fernando Valley were jolted out of their sleep by the Northridge Earthquake, generating the strongest ground motion ever instrumentally recorded in a North American city. The quake collapsed thousands of buildings, killed 51 people, and left 22,000 homeless.
You can see that the exterior plaster in many places along the adobe has fallen outward.
The De La Ossa Adobe stands less than 10 miles from the epicenter. The building absorbed much of the quake's wave motion and remained standing, but the east gable end wall gave way completely. Inside, furnishings were thrown about in every room. The entire building was dangerously destabilized.
You can literally see through to the other side of the building.
But that was not all they could see. Damage to the structure had revealed clues to architectural details, including fragments of an original Manta ceiling.
Well, Manta ceilings are so interesting because they're just cotton cloth pulled taut across at the top of the walls instead of a wooden ceiling.
But it was the suspicion that the fractured walls held an artistic treasure that intrigued staffers the most.
A state park staff person was looking at the earthquake damage and noticed on the edges of these deep cracks that there are colors that might be a decorative finish more than paint layers.
People are taking flashlights behind fireplaces and in crevices, and there's more and more color. It was just beyond our imagination.
Not knowing exactly what these colors might reveal, State Parks brought in conservation scientist Frank Preusser, who used infrared reflectography to find paint layers lost in time.
And we found the very first corner of the decoration, and we were thrilled.
Research indicated that the designs were painted in the 1870s, when the Garnier family lived in the adobe. Images of country house interiors from the family's homeland in France reveal similar wall designs and finishes. Much of the plaster containing these colorful clues was at risk of falling. State Parks then brought in conservator Molly Lambert.
These fragments didn't make it through the earthquake. They were either displaced from the wall significantly or damaged or fell off or were taken off because they were in danger of falling. But you can see here that this plaster, and there's a large amount of it, on this wall made it through the earthquake intact.
It was clear that State Parks had a giant jigsaw puzzle on their hands, with part of the puzzle still intact on the walls and other pieces lying strewn about the room.
The first step for us is always to stabilize the materials on the wall. We injected grout behind them, a lime-based grout, which is just a liquid mortar. And we've also put some new mortar behind it. So that is actually pretty stable.
Then the fallen pieces had to be reassembled on the wall. This was done through an intricate mapping and marking system. One wall was selected to receive an overpaint removal treatment. Slowly but surely, the wall gives up its secrets.
This is the most recent paint, the white, and under that is like a yellow or tan color, and under that is a gray color, under that is another yellow or tan, and then you see the original mural under that.
The hand-painted finish was created to resemble pieces of marble held in place by wooden frames. Using digital images of the original fragments, a computer-generated animation gives us an idea of what the entire room may have once looked like. The golden colors of the marble-like walls shimmer above the darkly painted chair rail and wall beneath. But this brilliant wall treatment did not last long. Within a few years, the adobe had a new owner. It is likely that during this time, the rich, decorative colors were covered with a new layer of paint, and the wooden wall that divides this once large room was added.
So in a way, the wall treatments that are fragments, the architectural remnants, it's just part of what this big puzzle we try to pull into one string to do our interpretive rooms, our interpretive panels. and I think they're a great fit.
Recognized as a significant historic landmark in 1937, the De La Ossa Adobe will remain a work in progress, offering ever-changing perspectives on the families and their home at Rancho El Encino.